Okay guys, this is a video portion. So if you were watching the pictures I took and you get a little seasick from shaky camera, you can go ahead and end the video if you want. This is what I got out of the garden today. I have a yellow zucchini, I have a yellow straight neck squash, and I have one looks like a straight 8 cucumber. Those cucumbers are supposed to be the Chinese cucumbers, which are fluted. Obviously it's not, it's a straight 8. So we'll see what happens with the other cucumber seeds that are planted over there. This probably volunteered from last year then, because that's what was planted over there last year, straight 8s. But regardless, as you can see, the garden is just exploding now. Those are, you see the cabbage butterflies out here too, so I gotta try to figure out a way to get rid of them, some of those, because they drive me nuts. Those are the turnips over there. I left them over there behind the cucumbers so that they could make some nice turnips for me. My lilies are blooming like crazy this year. But they won't be on this side of the garage next year. In the fall, I'm going to cut them back and I'm going to move them and put them around the house. They're very established now, so I don't have to baby them anymore. And plus, they're starting to encroach on my garden. So, I ain't having all that. The okra are about 2.5 feet tall now. Probably a little bit, not quite 3 feet tall. They're starting to put out the little crowns that right before they start to flower. So these okra are the Clemson spineless, supposedly. I've been noticing lately that some of the seed companies, I don't know who they have working for them, but these people don't know their plants. You'll get seeds that's supposed to be one thing and they end up being another, and sometimes that can get kind of frustrating. But yeah, the peppers have grown by leaps and bounds. The ones on this side in the garden, this is partial shade on this side of the garden. The ones over in full sunlight, they've also grown similarly tall, but they have they're this dry. It's a lot dry over there, and I don't water unless I have to, and I'm hoping to get water. It's real grassy back here right now, and that's something else we got to do when my husband comes home from work, is we got to make a trip to the dump, get all that stuff that they left in the basement after the fire fixtures that we don't need anymore, like those over there by the AC unit. We got to take all that stuff in a broken deep sink that I replaced. We got to take all that stuff to the dump today to get it on out my backyard so we can weed eat over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see the size of these rutabagas, and I'm going to weed around the rutabagas. I'm gonna go ahead and check my onions to see how they're doing. Yeah, and I had a visitor to my garden that pulled up several of my onions. So, I hope the person that stole them chokes on them, because they could have just asked me and I would have given them some. I don't like that. I mean, we put a lot of work into this garden every year, and I don't like people who just think they can just come into on your property when you're not home and just take what they want. I don't understand people. If you're hungry, if you need onions, knock on my door and ask me. I'll have no trouble coming out here and giving you a few of the onions. And I have no problems with that. But I don't like people to steal stuff that I give away. If there's too much for my family, I give away to different neighbors anyway, or friends. And there's people at work that I've took some of my kale and stuff to, and I gotta hurry up and start getting the rest of that kale out, because it's gonna start wanting to bolt soon because of this heat. It just frustrates me and upsets me that people take advantage of other people's hard work. But that's human beings in general, I think. As you can see over there, that Crochet squash over there, it is probably about 5 pounds. That sucker is growing fast. There's 2 other big ones. There might be a third hidden over there where the potatoes are at. I don't want to go trying to walk through there and step on some vines and crush the vines or anything. So what will be until it's time to harvest those potatoes. I'm not going to do new potatoes this year. I'm going to let those potatoes do as much as they can while they can. But if it starts getting wet, I'll go over there and I'll pull them, just because I don't want them rotting the ground and we don't get any potatoes. The sunflowers, let me come back. The sunflowers are doing great. I love planting them along that fence line. It makes it easy to take care of them. And the volunteers are doing great as well. The volunteers actually look healthier. See, they're taller. My husband's 6'3", and they're probably a foot or more taller than him. The one back there by the mulch pile is the tallest one out here. But yeah, it's getting the best nutrients though. And I love sunflowers. I've always loved sunflowers. I love drawing sunflowers too. And something's eating their leaves too. But hopefully they'll, I don't know, that's just gardening. And because I don't use a lot of pesticides, that's just a part of my garden. Is some things are going to be, you're going to lose them to nature. I don't know. These are the candy onions. You can see this one right here. It's got a real nice bulb on it now. But I'm going to let it hasn't started folding over anything. So I'm going to let it keep growing as much as possible. The ones beside it, they aren't as big. But they're doing really nice. My little transplanted broccoli plant is doing good. All my cilantro has bolted. All of it. I have some onions that have put on seed heads too. This rutabaga over here, I will be going in. I need the weed eater to come out here and weed eat on the side part. But you can see with this rutabaga, let me put my cucumber down. I'm gonna eat that with some salt and pepper. This rutabaga is starting to become a nice size. I don't know if you guys, this other one's in the way. Let me see. Pull these leaves off. Just turn yellow. You can see that rutabaga. All right, grass. This grass just grows so dang on fast. We didn't get rain. It's just been real moist. This one is like getting to a nice size. This one right here. See if you can see that root ball or not. But yeah. So these rutabagas over here, since the bottom leaves are starting to turn yellow, and some of them are nice size, some of them are still small. Like this one is still small. It might not do much as an actual rutabaga, but it puts out nice leaves. That was a good size right there. So these rutabagas this year was hit and miss. Last year they were like amazing. Very amazing across the board. I'm wanting to go back out to the farm, take my barrels. Maybe my husband, he comes home, we could take that load of stuff off to the dump, and then we can go out to the farm with the shovel and get some alpaca poo, and go ahead and start getting alpaca poo on the weekends, and bring it back to the garden. So, but yeah, that's the garden. Even the grassy side, that side over there is doing good. I mean, overall the garden is doing really good. Next year I want to plant more beans, and I'm going to take and plant more squash. But I noticed now I'll put the cushaw somewhere by itself. I'll probably actually put it behind the barn and let it crawl over the fence behind the barn, because you see how it's taking up a real nice chunk of space, and it's kind of choking off some of the squash over there, and it's choking off my cucumbers I plant over there. But I got plenty of cucumbers elsewhere, so if those don't make it, it's a lesson learned, because this is my first year dealing with cushaw, and my daddy didn't warn me that they spread like that. So that's pretty much all that's going on. I'm hoping this will be a good year for my squash this year, considering I already gotten just two nice ones, and that's a real pretty cucumber right there. So hopefully we get some rain soon, and they start producing more. I'm planning on making some more greens this weekend and harvesting some of the greens from the rutabaga and from the rutabagas over there that I've been thinning out and using them just for their greens. Harvesting those to take to work on Monday to give to someone there, and then I'll be cooking some for the family this weekend and to share with friends. I need to, once I get those up, get these rutabagas up, get it tilled over here, and then replant more kale, more broccoli, and more collards. I don't think my collards made it because the rain we were supposed to get, we didn't get it. And by the time I get home from work, if it's gonna burn, it's done. So I don't think any of my collards made it, so I gotta replant my collards. So I think I'll put them down in the basement in the window until they get a decent size before I bring them out into the garden and find spaces for them to grow. So yeah, my goal is to one day not have such all this nut grass, but I don't want to use any serious poison. So it is what would be. We're getting plenty of stuff out of here. I know the yield could be better if there was less grass taking nutrients, but considering all the work that we've put into this garden over the last 6, 7, 8 years we've been living here, and every year we've been bringing more and more good material into the garden, and every year we're getting better and better success with the plants we do plant. So there's some squirrels up on the, can y'all see those? They're playing up on the bottom light line. That's probably who's been coming in my garden stealing stuff. And it's just like the squash leaves. Something loves squash leaves. I'm trying to find out what it is, but it'll go in and it'll break off, and it takes some of the squash leaves. So I'm wondering if those squirrels are doing that. And I've noticed something's getting some of the squash flowers as well. So I'm wondering if that's those squirrels. You look at that kale right there, those have come back good. I'll be actually getting some of the leaves off of that, and they've made seed heads, so I got to cut those seed heads off. They're ready to dry out now, so I'll take it into the barn, and then we'll just start harvesting the kale from it. That kale might come back, might survive the winter again and come back next year. So I mean, it was a real good producer, so if it does that, I'll just let it keep growing there until it finally dies off, and just keep taking the seeds from it and replanting the seeds. I'll probably, once those dry out completely, I'll probably use those seeds to replant the kale out here. But yeah, I gotta actually stick to my organization. Oh, my flower opened up. I didn't even notice that. Let me see. Can y'all see that red flower? This camera is hard for me to there it is. I like my old camera. It was so much easier to use. Yeah, I got a flower. One of my flowers open. That one's getting ready to open. The one that volunteered. Check out all those little flower heads on it. And I think I'm on some ants, y'all. Let me move. Feels like something's crawling over me. Bite my leg. My watermelon putting out its first flowers. My volunteer watermelon. And I'm hoping it's one of the watermelons I got from my dad that volunteer, but we don't know. Could be, because I think I bought one from the store, and I had like 2 or 3 that I got from my dad. It was probably one from my dad, because I remember we threw it over here in this side of the garden. Some of it didn't make it over to the mulch pile, and the one from the store, I threw it in the garbage. I didn't want to risk this seeds coming up out here. Genetically modified misses. These cabbage butterflies are everywhere, laying eggs on everything. So I gotta figure out a natural way to get them bad boys out of my garden. You can see the chicory over here. I gotta trim back this raspberry bush. Now it's done. It's just stabbing everybody. The chicory, see that? It's opening. You're supposed to use the young leaves like in salads and stuff. And then you got the roots and stuff. I need to move it too along the fence line and let it just grow wild along the fence line and out of the actual garden. Now that my sassafras, which I read up on sassafras, and they don't recommend you use it anymore because they say that the oil from the sassafras is carcinogenic. But I always loved the plant because the leaves are fragrant, and I always just loved the sassafras plant simply for the history of the plant. As a medicinal plant with African Americans and the Indians and other peoples. So I'm gonna move it to another part of the yard and let it grow. Just have it as a yard decoration, and just for the history and everything about the sassafras plant. I know when I was growing up, people used to still use it for medicine, even after it was banned, or not necessarily banned, but advised. People were advised not to use it. I'm pretty sure this is the round squash. I can't remember though. The round zucchini, and it is spreading all over the place. And there's one nice size when I showed you guys right there, and I think it's time to harvest it. But I'm gonna read up on it real quick, and then if it's time to harvest it, I'll come back out here and I'll grab it out the garden, and then we'll be eating some squash and onions for dinner tonight. And yeah, so this is my little garden, and maybe stuff will start producing. We'll get some rain and stuff will start producing like crazy, so I can fill my deep freezer back up. And yeah, I gotta trim this thing back. It's starting to attack people walking by. There's like the raspberries are almost done. You can see my husband, he comes out here and picks them every day. And something has planted. See, something has not planted. It has larvae growing on it. Yeah, so I gotta probably end up having to spray it with something. But we'll do some research and see. All right, y'all. I mean, look at that cushaw right there. I wonder how long do I have to wait before I can harvest them. I mean, do I have to actually wait till the plant starts dying back, or can I harvest them once they get a certain size? That's what I want to know. So if anybody uses cushaw a lot or has knowledge about cushaw, you know, feel free to. Like, it's spread over here and it's putting out new flowers and new cushaw. So if anyone knows, just, you know, let me know if I can, what size do they have to be for me to, or, you know, when they're ripe enough to start harvesting. I'm wondering if I got a cucumber up in here. They're not big yet. Okay, they're not big yet. I know what's going to happen. One is going to hide from me in here with this cushaw. And by the time I find it, it's going to be a freaking jumbo and you ain't going to be able to eat it. Like getting your belly ache. But there's like squash. There's like all kind of little cucumbers down there. Cucumbers over there. The cucumbers are trying. They need some water. Need some rain. Need some rain. I just want to miss one. It might have like a big one out here, and I just miss it, and then I just stuck with it. You know, there's some little ones over there. I mean, it's full of little cucumbers, full of them. You just need rain. And this one, a day or two with some rain. That one right there will be ready to eat and pick. There's another one over here. Yeah, they just need some rain. They actually sending out vines looking for. These are supposed to be space savers. They weren't supposed to be sending out vines like that. They were supposed to stay like a bush, like a little bush cucumber, but they spreading out. They sending out vines too. Yeah. Oh, there's one down up on this dead leaf. It's curled up though. It ain't. See? I'll let it get. Can you see it? Right there. I'll let it get a little bit bigger. Just cause it's curled up don't mean you can't eat it. A cucumber is a cucumber is a cucumber. Yeah. So yeah. These haven't done anything. So I haven't seen any. I think this is a male plant. I haven't seen anything that looks like squash on it. See? It's just putting out flowers. It's just pollinating my other stuff. And that's all it's doing. They look like little penises. So that's why I'm wondering if that's like a male flowers and stuff. Oh. Look, it's growing up on the wall, the cushaw. It's got little cushaw coming along the wall. And most of the potatoes have already flowered, so that's good. This is some more volunteer flowers, and they're about to send their flowers out. So yeah, so I got 1, 2, probably The tomato plant, they still haven't started turning red. There are some along the bottom. You'll be alright. There's some along the bottom. They're about, I'm thinking of some type of hybrid cherry tomato. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll be planning for my garden next year. And I'm definitely gonna have like longer rows. I think not more of the square foot, except for square foot, like with the kale and the onions works good for me. But other things I'm used to having rows. And I have a big family, so you know. And like the squash, beautiful plants. I just hope they produce a lot this year. I love squash. All right, guys, that's it. It's the grass shot. Let's show you guys. That's it. And let me go inside and do some research real quick on those round zucchini. And see if I can go ahead and harvest that one. Because if so, I can go ahead and cook that one too with the other ones. So we'll have a zucchini medley for dinner tonight.